Good morning and welcome to Trim and Fit Living on Purpose. I hope you enjoyed the last video. Today, I'd like to talk about a few things. I'd like to talk about how to put an S meal together, an E meal together, and an FP meal together. I think last time I mentioned that S stands for satisfying, E stands for energizing, and FP, fuel pull. When you put together an S meal, you're going to have more fats than you have carbs. When you put together an E meal, you're going to have more carbs and less fat. And when you put together a fuel pull, you'll have less carbs and less fat. Now, when you have each one of these meals, you want to make sure that you have protein. So what I usually do is I have 3 meals a day and 1 snack. Sometimes I'll have 2 snacks. It depends on how I feel. If I really am extra hungry, maybe I got up really early in the morning and I need that extra fuel. Well, I just want to share a little bit about what goes on an S meal. First, you need your protein, like I said, and I think I said in the last video that you should have at least 30 grams of protein probably for your meals, 10 to 15 grams of protein for your snack. So for the S, you're going to choose some non-starchy vegetables, stuff like cauliflower, broccoli, things like that are non-starchy. And if you have fruit, you can have fruit. You can have blueberries, and let's see, it says limit blueberries to half a cup and other berries to 1 cup for an S meal. You can have leafy greens, all the leafy greens you want. And also, non-starchies are like celery, cucumber, cabbage, zucchini. There's lots of zucchini going on right now. Yellow squash, green beans, bell peppers, and radishes. And you need to make sure that when you have your carbs, that you have no more than 10 grams of carbs, net carbs. Now real quickly, I'm going to go over how to figure out net carbs. First, what you do is you look at the back of your food and you figure out what the total carbs are. Let's say it's 10 carbs. Then you take away the fiber carbs, let's say it's 7. So 10 minus 7 is 3. That leaves you with 3 net carbs. And later on in another video, we'll talk about there's 3 different kinds of S meals. There's a light S, a deep S, and a heavy S. Now let's talk about an E meal. I love E meals. I try to have 7 to 9 E meals a week. Some people might have more. It depends on how their metabolism's doing. So again, you got to anchor your meal with protein. On an E meal, you could have like maybe a boneless chicken breast, or lean turkey, or lean beef, lean deli meat, low fat or non-fat cottage cheese, low or non-fat Greek yogurt, whey protein powder. I love the whey protein powder. And egg, which is white eggs only, or egg beaters. Then you can have fat on your E meal, but you need to have no more than 5 grams of fat in your E meal. You know, common fat things are like peanut butter, cheese, nuts, seeds, oils, things like that. And you need to have your E fuel source like sprouted bread. I use most of the time Ezekiel bread when I'm making a sandwich for the E meal. Or like for breakfast, 1 1/4 cup old-fashioned oatmeal that's cooked, or quinoa, brown rice, things like that. And definitely add some vegetables. That really helps. The more veggies that you add to your meals, the better you'll be at losing weight and feeling good. Then you have the fuel pull. And like I said, it's low carb and low fat. And I have written down here, fats in a fuel pull, the maximum is 5 grams. The carbs, the maximum is 10 grams. Okay? But make sure every time you eat a meal like an S, an E, or an FP, that it's anchored with protein. Okay, now real quickly, I just want to share with you about insulin, okay? I think it's really important because insulin is the hormone that stores. And the good thing that insulin does is it allows storage of nutrients. You need nutrients. And when you have too much insulin, then it stores fat. And that's why insulin, THM calls, is the fat promoting hormone of your body. So making over and above insulin in your body every time you eat is the best way to get fat. And the insulin protein, or the insulin hormone, was made to carry glucose, proteins, and fats out of your bloodstream and into your cells so your body could use them. If you don't have insulin in your amino acids, protein has amino acids. You need to remember that. It would not travel to your muscle cells where they make repairs. Also, acids that are fatty don't have a way out of your bloodstream. So the fatty acids would not be able to feed your nervous system, brain, and your skin. Here's another bummer. Glucose would stay in your bloodstream and it could cause coma or death. I know there's been times where my insulin has spiked. I've never been a diabetic. I was close to being a pre-diabetic one time, and I used to eat heavy carb meals, and in the afternoon I would just want to sleep. So you do want insulin to work for you. You may ask yourself, how do I have more insulin? Just like I said, eating more carbs than you should. It's like this. Carbohydrates are changed to blood glucose quicker than fat and protein. So you'll see a large rise in your insulin. Carbs cause a large insulin surge. Fat, little effect on insulin. Protein, a small to medium rise. So, I wish I could let you really see how this is written here. I made up a little PowerPoint thing to help you understand what happens, because Trim Healthy Mama talks about this, and I thought if this was in picture form, this might really help you. So, let's see what a meal does. I'm taking sugar out of your bloodstream and delivering somewhere else. You can tell I teach, right? Little kids. Stop. Uh-oh, your blood sugar is out of this world. Now the insulin has to work harder. Your pancreas has to take care of the big disaster. I know the words are probably turned around, but if you could see that. And maybe if you just think about that the next time you eat a meal. Okay, now I'm just going to share real quickly one of my prep ways, because I know there are a lot of people out there when I talk about Trim Healthy Mama, not a lot, but some, that say there's too much to do. It's too much work. You know what? I felt that way at first too, and at first it does seem that way. But you know what? It's so worth it. When I don't do the Trim Healthy Mama, which isn't, I don't do that kind of living anymore. I do Trim Healthy Mama plan because I feel so, so good. So anyway, one of my prep ways is I have this container that I got at Walmart that had little containers in it, and I thought, why don't I just use this for storing some of my prep things? So what I do is I just take these little containers that you can get at Tops and Walmart, and I fill up the dry ingredients and I label what it is. Like this is a peanut butter and jelly frappe, and I write down the name of the cookbook and the page it's on. So when I want it, all I got to do is pull it out. Also, here's something else. It's called the shrinker. This is a sipper. And in a few weeks, I'm going to be going on a trip. So I thought, why don't I make some of these and take them with me so I can stay on plan. Okay. Now, I think it's time for us to do a recipe. How about chocolate banana muffins? Those are really, really good. So what I did was I went ahead and made some chocolate banana muffins, but I'm going to put it together for you, some of it. I'm not going to do the wet ingredients or put it in the oven. I have this bag here. It stands on the counter, and I'm going to fill it up with my dry ingredients. Okay. So, first thing is 2 cups of old-fashioned rolled oats ground into flour in a blender. So that's what I did. Let me show you this. You know how you get your oatmeal? Well, this was empty, so I took some oats from another container and I put it in my blender, and now I've labeled it oat flour. So I have oat flour in here. You can do it that way, or you can buy your own oat flour at another store. So that's what I do. So I've got my oats. I'm going to go ahead and put them in here as best I can. And I had an idea. Either I'll save this for making these again sometime, or I can give them as a Christmas gift. Okay? So somebody else can make them quickly. Now, I can't tell you the measurements for these ingredients because this cookbook that I'm getting the recipe from is copyrighted. So I guess I'm putting a plug in for Trim Healthy Mama's cookbook. Trim Healthy Mama cookbook. This is a really good investment. It has over 350 healthy recipes. and it's on page 283. Okay, then I put my cocoa powder in, and my Gentle Sweet, which is erythritol and stevia. Okay, I don't get the one with xylitol. Xylitol really hurts my stomach. Okay, then I have a little bit of mineral salt, which I love to use, which is really good for you. And sometime we'll talk about that, what it does for you. It helps with your blood pressure, I'll tell you that. Okay, and baking powder and baking soda, I think I have that all together. All right, so those are all the dry ingredients. Let me just put them away. Then I have vanilla that I put in. I put water in there. I put some plain Greek yogurt, and I put egg whites in there. I think that's all the wet ones. Yep. Okay, so this bag is all done. And usually what I do is I already have it labeled, but I don't today. But you can store this from 3 to 6 months, you know, if you have a cool, dry place. And so the next time you want muffins, you just pull it out and put it in a mixing bowl with your wet ingredients, and ta-da! There you go. Okay. Now let me show you what the muffins look like. My husband and I had some yesterday. We had 2 of them. Okay. When I was mixing it all up, it was like marshmallowy. And even when you eat it, it tastes kind of marshmallowy. It's really good. This would be an E. Yes, I believe that. That's right. It's an E meal, so it's more carbs, good carbs, and less fat. Okay? And then I'm just going to go ahead and take a banana. Just a little bit of banana. And I'm going to get my whipped cream out. Okay, I got the 0 sugar, the keto-friendly one. And I just put a little on. Some banana on top. Can you see that? Delicious. Yum, yum. I would take a bite right now. What time is it? Yeah, it's probably time, but I'm not sure if I want an E. I was thinking about having an E for lunch. So I'll just hold off on that, maybe give it to my husband. Okay, so if you're interested in getting more information from me, just email me at trimandfitlivingonpurpose@gmail.com. This really is a good plan. I just feel so much better. I have more energy, and my numbers at the doctor's office went down. It's wonderful, and I'd love to share it with you. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.